Hello, everybody, and welcome to this first show of Rock My Bean, where I'm John, and
I am Mark. Hello, my friends.
we're going to analyze and discuss drummers through the last 50 years, 60 years. And I've been playing drums for about 50 years. I also teach drums, and one of my students is my stepson Mark here, who has been learning for about 2 years, and he's made a lot of progress. And we're going to be showing you during this show, this future shows, what he's doing and what I'm doing as we analyze these drummers. And we thought that we'd like to start out with one of the first drummers of rock history, and that is Ringo Starr. Now, Ringo Starr just never seems to really get a lot of respect because a lot of music he played was sometimes, especially the early Beatles, was kind of simplistic. But when you really look at his entire catalog, you realize that the guy really did have a lot of talent, and he did things uniquely that other drummers weren't doing. In fact, he even changed some things. And we're going to get into all that here. And so we're going to talk about Ringo Starr.
So
now Mark is going to give you what he thinks about Ringo Starr, and we tried to rehearse it and memorize it, but it's going to be easier for him just to kind of read it off. So Mark, go ahead and tell everybody what you think about Ringo Starr.
I read that Ringo Starr, at the age of 6, developed
I think it's appendicitis.
After a surgery, he got peritonitis, which caused him to fall into a coma that lasted days. His recovery lasted a whole year. He spent that time away from his family in the hospital. Worse, he lived in England, where houses in the area were very small and closed, so the air was bad. Altogether, his early life was a struggle to survive. So I see myself a little like him, and that I am trying to overcome autism which is a struggle. Ringo's influences were Hank Williams, Buck Owens, and Hank Snow, and jazz artists such as Chico Hamilton and Yusef Lateef, whose compositional style inspired Starr's fluid and energetic drum fills and grooves. Plus, Ringo is also an actor, and I would be an actor.
Mark would like to be an actor too, but he's a drummer right now. And so, yeah, okay, great. We're going to talk about Ringo here, so let's get this thing started. This is actually going to be a compilation of various concerts that he played in throughout his career. And you're going to see a lot of his style here. So let's see if we can get this thing going.
Let's get to it.
And let's rock and roll. Here we go. I'm going to pause there. I want to say something. Okay, one thing I want to comment on here, because this is important. Ringo was the first drummer that was up on a high riser so that everybody could see him. He was at the level of the band. He wasn't down on the ground. If you look at a lot of bands before this, the drummer was actually on the floor behind the band. But they put Ringo up on a tall riser to show that he was just as significant, just as important as any other member of the band, and he really was. And so you started to see this. I was a drummer back in the 70s and 80s, and believe me, all the drummers were on risers. And Ringo, I believe, is the one that really started this and got it going. And so that's one thing I wanted to comment on, because a lot of people just today completely miss that.
So what I want to say that Ringo Starr, as a first drummer in the 1950s, 1960s of the group Beatles, their best hit of the song was the song "Twist and Shout," which was the one of their best hits that I played in a drum set, and it has the original rock beat with the two
Right, it's got that double hit.
Yeah, with the double hit and the snare drum.
Yes, exactly.
And
exactly. And so that's one thing Mark learned is this actual rock beat that Ringo was playing. A lot of these early '60s rock bands, bump, 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 bump. Exactly. And he learned how to do that, and so he likes doing that. That's what he was talking about. Okay, let's continue on. Here we go. Yeah, it is. I'm talking about that in a minute. Sure. What he's doing is he's playing the right cymbal with It's a slower song. No, it's not going to. A little bit, yeah. I think. What did that movie was based on? Like the Beatles. Oh, yeah. You know something too? Pause this. Okay, real quick, I want to talk about this. You notice how Ringo is playing the hi-hat?
Yeah.
He's going like this. He's swishing his stick, like he's not tapping it like this. He's playing like this. And I never saw too many guys do that. A lot of people play the hi-hat like this. They come down on it. But he's playing it like this. Like that.
Yeah.
It's an unusual playing style. Now he's tapping.
I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe.
Oh, I want to say something because I observed something. I observed something that Ringo Starr and the band Beatles does not have like a bluesy rock music. It's also having a little bit of jazz.
Well, it's interesting you say that because, you know, rock drummers back then,
Yeah.
a lot of them were raised playing jazz music, swing jazz.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff they grew up on. So their playing style often reflected. And you'll hear even in the late 50s, early 60s, they're playing the swing beat, ba 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 ba, right?
Like Elvis Presley.
Right, but you notice something about Ringo Starr. He decided to play 4/4 on the cymbal beat. He was playing. He turned it from a da 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 to a da 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 da. He did that.
Yeah.
And so it became what we call the rock beat
Yeah.
instead of the swing beat. He's one of the first guys to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like metal. That's kind of like a punk rock.
That's kind of what does it.
Sounds like Nirvana. Oh, I was thinking we're putting them on Vegas.
A lot of stuff based on what we did. And that's it, folks. That's the video. Okay. We got to get out of the commercial.
Okay, we don't want to see that.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna thank. I didn't even say thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, first of all, I want to talk about the Beatles here before we say goodbye. Okay, so starting out with Ringo Starr, a lot of the stuff that we do today in rock music comes from him. I mean, one thing he did a lot of is he would play like instead of starting out with a cymbal, he would start out on the floor tom, bum 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 bum, and then come into the cymbal. That was one thing he did. He would play his toms like a cymbal sometimes. And he also started using the matchstick. A lot of guys were using traditional grip.
Yeah.
He started using the matchstick, which wasn't really done a lot. So Ringo Starr really did a lot of things for the first time. I mean, he really started off a lot of things that people weren't doing and created a kind of style and ideas that were then picked up by other drummers and still used even to this day. Yeah. So, I mean, you use them when you play.
Yeah.
So a lot of the DNA, DNA is the stuff inside our genes.
Oh,
the DNA of his playing has carried over all the way to today. So we have to give Ringo Starr first kudos, first credit for being a drummer that influenced just generations of drummers and created a bunch of new ideas that drummers had never done before.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all we're going to do for this show today. And
thank you so much. Have a great day.
And Mark says goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye here, but before we say goodbye, if you like this show,
subscribe down below
and smash that thumbs up button
and hit the notification
bell. And we also want to get some ideas about what drummers, particularly drummers, but other percussionists too, because we're going to talk about other kinds of percussionists eventually in this show. You'd like to see us comment on and analyze, because I'm a rock drummer. I've been a rock drummer for 50 years. Mark loves playing rock music. He also likes playing some other dance music and world music. But I'm mainly a rock drummer, and Mark's doing that too.
Yeah.
So that's really where my expertise is. But we're going to cover all kinds of stuff on this show.
I want to say something that my stepfather inspired me to do this drumming career. It really changed my life to kind of more ambitious career.
Well, that's the thing. When Mark always liked banging on things and hitting the drums. I had drums around for a long time, and he just took to it real quick. And I realized, this guy has some ability, I think. So we're going to start giving him lessons. So a couple years ago, I started giving him lessons, and he started catching on, and he started learning things. And I realized he really does have the talent, and he does have the ability. And now in 2 years, it's like he's been playing for 5 years or more.
Yeah.
Made a lot of progress. So, and we're going to show some of that on this show, so you can see how he's doing and how we work together. And So, all right. Well, thanks for watching Rock My Bean. And as always, we hope you will join us again next time.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Hope you enjoy.